Hello, my name is Kevin and I collect old irons. Of all the machine fluters, perhaps the first to be manufactured in the United States were those of Henrietta Cole. There were quite a number of laundry iron patents held by females in the United States in the 19th century, but only a few of these developed into manufactured products. For us iron collectors, there were three female patent holders that were especially important. The first and most important of these female iron inventors was Mrs. Mary Florence Potts, and we have done several videos about her work. She has also recently been inducted into the American Inventors Hall of Fame. The remaining two female patent holders were both inventors of machine fluters, which were used to iron strips of cloth that would be included in Victorian dresses. The important patents for both of these women, Susan R. Knox and Henrietta H. Cole, were both from 1866. I spoke about Susan Knox in an earlier video. Unlike Mrs. Potts, Susan kept control of her patents and marketed these to a number of manufacturers over at least a couple of decades. The third female patent holder was Henrietta H. Cole, who had the first American patent with vertically stacked rollers, applied for in March 12, 1866, and granted on June 12, 1866. The short time between application and granting of the patent shows that this was quickly considered to be a novel design. It can be quite difficult to get personal information about relatively ordinary people after 150 years. For Henrietta H. Cole, as for Susan R. Knox, we've been unable indeed to get the middle name. Henrietta was born in about 1835, died in 1891. Husband was named William. And that's about it. But we have 4 reports from the Patent Office published in the Congressional Record from 1882 to 1887, this being about 10 to 15 years after the manufacture of the last Henrietta Cole machine fluter. Henrietta was quite litigious and also very persistent. This essentially works like a beam scale. You have a weight that moves back and forth. Over here puts more pressure between the two rollers. This is a unique solution to the question of adjusting the pressure here. Most, both American and English irons, instead had a spring up here. Now let's look at the individual irons that I have to show for this video. This is the most common of the 4 designs. It's all black. It has, and this is a very good specimen, it has the original floral decorations around 3 of the corners. The pylon is offset into the other corner, and on this side there is the Cole Prize Medal, including the patent date, 1866. This is a similar Cole fluter, but it has a red coloration. It has no textural or markings or a medallion. This is a very good specimen here. There is some very nice floral pattern on the middle of the pylon. The pylon is centrally located. There are some important differences between the black and the red fluters. The red fluter, which is again I think the older design, has the slugs, and I don't have the original slugs, the slugs coming in through the pylon. The ends of the rollers are closed, while the black design has open ends here and the slugs would have gone into this end. Also, for all the specimens I've seen, the black ones have a different kind of weight. It's a disc-shaped weight with a very interesting little design on it as well, while the red ones have an acorn-shaped weight. This is my third Cole design. This one is a clamp-on fluter, and it has a round weight, red color, similar to the one we just saw. This one has cast iron, not as a brass medallion, a mention of the inventor with the March 1866 date that the patent was submitted. This also is a composite of the last 2 designs we saw. This has a open end on the bottom and a closed end on the top. So my interpretation here is that the red fluter with a square base was manufactured prior to the submittal of the patents in March 1866. The red fluter with the clamp-on device was manufactured primarily in the mid-1866, and the black one with a square base was then manufactured in greater numbers after the patent came out in June of 1866. And by the way, this is again probably with a longer production history, and we can say that because we see more of these. And now the creme de la creme of the Cole irons that I have in my collection. This is rare. It's the only one I know to exist. It is got the disc-shaped slug on top of the handle, much like the detachable handle iron we saw before. Listed on the bottom, Cole's patent, fluting machine. Those letters painted, has decals all around. And I wonder if this iron may have been the type, not necessarily this explicit iron, that was submitted and won the prize medal. That would be in mid-1866. So there you have it. The Cole fluters are important historically in the context of old iron history, but also serve as reminders of the female inventors of the 19th century, about which very little is known and about which much more study is needed. So with all that said, thank you again, and please subscribe, send your comments to me.